Welcome back to our last installment of interpreting our ethical appeals, this time with Atticus Finch's closing argument at the Tom Robinson trial. You're back on page 17 of your To Kill a Mockingbird booklet. We are using our persuasive appeals notes again, so if you want to have that out with us to remember our three different appeals. Today we'll be looking at the ethical appeals with ethos. You already have done logos and you've done pathos, and then today my color is going to be the yellow addition to all of our notes for our ethical appeals. You will highlight the part of the speech with the appropriate color that you chose for ethos and write in the margin why or how it fits into that appeal. Don't forget, our ethical appeals include a good character. Is our writer, is our speaker a good person? Their actions should be moral and just. The writer has the audience's best interest at heart, and the language is also appropriate for the occasion. Before we actually get started, it's important for us to remember that Atticus Finch is giving his closing arguments. The whole town of Maycomb knows Atticus. They know he is honest, he is respectful, he has this great reputation, so he's already kind of set up with being an ethical character. So he doesn't have to prove himself during his closing argument because it's already known, because it's a jury of his peers of where he lives. The paragraph we're going to start on page 17 is the first paragraph that starts with the word gentleman. We are going to look at the last part of this paragraph. He was talking to the jury as if they were folks on the post office corner. So we have that familiarity here. He is not talking over anybody's heads. He is being very appropriate for the occasion with his language. If he were to speak down to them or speak in the word choices that he would know as being a lawyer, he knows he would offend people, and we know Atticus would never do that. So his language is appropriate for the occasion because of his jury and because of the people who are present. We're going to skip down the page to where it's, I have nothing but pity in my heart. You're going to highlight through for the chief witness for the state, but my pity does not extend so far as to putting a man's life at stake. So he's saying that he has pity in his heart for the chief witness, which would be Mayella. He feels bad for her because everybody in that courtroom knows she is abused by her father. She has a horrible life. We all know that. But he says, my pity does not extend so far as to putting a man's life at stake. So he is a good character. He has his best interest at heart. He feels bad for Mayella. But it is not okay for her to lie to try to get out of the situation she is in and blaming somebody else. And so it pulls that ethical character in of how good Atticus is and what Mayella is doing is wrong. We are back on that paragraph that we have lots of different choices here. We are going in between both of our logical appeal and our emotional appeal, and we are highlighting, but I cannot pity her. She is white. Again, we have Atticus talking about Mayella. He says before that she is the victim of cruel poverty and ignorance. The whole courtroom knows this. He cannot pity her. Remember, Atticus is respectful. He is honest. He's a good person. He is not going to pity her, though. She is white. So right there, we're putting in that I, using the morals, okay? What she's doing is wrong. There's nothing more to that. And there's no pity for her because she is doing the wrong thing. Turning to page 18, we are going to look at that first paragraph on the page before all of our logical appeal that appears there and highlight, I need not remind you of their appearance and conduct on the stand. You saw them for yourselves. He's talking about those witnesses. That's one's character. They know they're lying. So right there, I need not remind you of their appearance and conduct on the stand. You saw them for yourselves. You know they're lying. You know what they're saying is wrong. So again, Atticus is a good person. Those witnesses were bad. And then moving over to one of our last paragraphs on that last column, we're going to highlight that first sentence. I'm no idealist to believe firmly in the integrity of our courts and in the jury system. That is no ideal to me. It is a living, working reality. And he is validating his credibility here of being a lawyer and doing what is right. And in his heart, he knows Tom Robinson is innocent, and everybody else in that courtroom knows as well. And so he is trying to validate and make them realize they cannot do this to somebody that is innocent. And that is the end of our notes.